So Boeing, big disappointment to me. Big disappointment.
Boeing just took another hit. And this time it's not a Starliner or safety issue. It's global politics. China has told its airlines to stop taking new Boeing jets. The reason? Donald Trump's 145% tariff on Chinese goods.
American companies are grappling with rising tariffs and fierce competition. The country is losing its legacy companies, and the latest victim? Boeing. Once a symbol of American military greatness, Boeing is looking for another location to secure its future. The stakes have never been higher.
Boeing's 737 MAX jet, intended for Chinese airline Xiamen Airlines, has returned to the US production hub after being hit by tit-for-tat bilateral tariffs launched by President.
Scenario. Say a 25% increase across the board on tariffs. Tit-for-tat from both sides. A Boeing 787, the price will go up by $40 million. Wow. No one's going to pay that. That won't happen.
In a shocking turn of events, Boeing has announced its plan to transfer part of its manufacturing to Mexico. This is no surprise, as many other legacy companies are taking the same route. Take, for example, Ford and John Deere. The main reason for this move is tariffs. What we do worry about is availability of parts, because this is a broad, complicated supply chain, and people have different levels of exposure to it. Mr. Brian West, Boeing's chief financial officer, said at an investment conference in March, "Not only are the country tariffs bigger, but countries can retaliate, and boy is Canada mad." Mr. Kevin Michaels, the managing director of Aerodynamic Advisory, added, "You may be wondering, Boeing is a long-established company in the U.S. and it conducts most of its manufacturing also in the U.S. So, why are tariffs suddenly scaring this giant away? Well, there are a couple of reasons. The most obvious one is the rising production costs due to the tariffs. Analysts predict that the tariffs will increase costs in the aerospace business by about $5 billion annually in the coming years. And this is because of the tariffs imposed on Canada and Mexico, two major players in the North American supply chain. Notably, the aerospace industry has been operating duty-free for decades, mostly because parts are coming from everywhere, says Bruce Hers, a trade policy expert. Now these companies have to face tariffs on aluminum and steel, two of the most critical components used in manufacturing aircraft. To paint a clearer picture, Boeing imports critical components like electrical wiring for the Boeing 787 Dreamliner's landing gear components and interior parts from Mexico. Additionally, the company gets avionics composite materials and engine components from Canada. So it goes without saying the company cannot achieve 100% domestic manufacturing. Heck, even Tesla can't either. So while Trump's protectionist policies were meant to protect American manufacturing, it is hurting it in a way he did not see coming. More CEOs are coming out to mirror Boeing's sentiments on the issue. For instance, Ford CEO Jim Farley said, "So far what we're seeing is a lot of cost and a lot of chaos." It doesn't stop there. It seems that tariffs will be the cause of dissonance between Trump and Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been whispering in President Trump's ears on various issues, but the tariffs seem to have caught him off guard. He has taken on SpaceX to push for a zero-tariff situation and a free trade zone, especially with Europe. Tesla is in an especially bad situation due to its reliance on China for EV batteries. China's tariffs on the U.S. currently stand at 150%, and we are still not sure if Trump is going to retaliate further. Back to Boeing, we have already established that the cost will rise because the company is dependent on the North American supply chain. Which brings me to my next point. The tariffs are complicating the North American supply chain. Let me give you a little backstory. There's this trade agreement called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, which President Trump signed into action during his first term. This trade agreement reduced and eliminated many tariffs and trade barriers in the North American region. The trade agreement majorly targeted the automotive industry, requiring more components to be sourced from the three countries. This was supposed to reduce the reliance on non-North American auto parts. And here's where it gets better. The vehicles would be more or less duty-free when traded across these three countries if they complied with the rules. And so naturally, many companies rely on this integrated supply chain, Boeing included. An aerospace industry consultant, Gerald Lundquist, said, "There's fundamental economics as to why that supply chain is distributed in the first place. It's usually labor cost, but also material availability and things like that." In fact, Boeing's chief financial officer said that the direct effects of the tariffs on the company will be minimal. He mentioned that the cost increase on metal prices will amount to less than a 1% increase in company spending. The company already has enough inventory to keep itself afloat as the country navigates these difficult political hurdles. He added that the company's manufacturing is overwhelmingly concentrated in the United States. The company's concern was the effect of the tariffs further down the supply chain, most of which are in Canada and Mexico. As a result, there will be production delays if the components needed for manufacturing are delayed or unavailable. Boeing is highly dependent on just-in-time supply chains, which aim to minimize stockpiling and reduce storage costs. Now here's where it gets interesting. Trump's punitive tariffs are being met by retaliatory tariffs. Countries are pretty much saying, if you don't want to do business with us, we also don't need you either. For instance, Canada, which is a key player in the Boeing supply chain, slapped the US with 25% tariffs on $30 billion worth of US goods. So the move to shift some production to Mexico does not come as a surprise. It's a way to mitigate or go around these tariffs and still remain competitive. Before we continue, it is imperative to look at Boeing's performance in the past few years to see the impact of these trading regulations.
We were seeing reports from tons of international outlets that a Boeing jet bound for China's Xiamen Airlines actually returned here to the King County International Airport. So we came here to check it out, see if it was true. And lo and behold, we'll have you zoom in through the gate. You'll see parked right here on the runway in Seattle is an aircraft that meets that description.
Well, those aircraft are still with the airline, and due to ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China, the decision has been made to suspend the sale of those Dreamliners.
Those aircraft are still with the airline, and due to ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China, the decision has been made to suspend the sale of those Dreamliners. Here's an interesting thing about Boeing. This company was experiencing a tough time in 2024 and early 2025. This was as a result of a panel blowing off a 737 MAX 9 plane. This happened in January 2024. Following the incident, its MAX 9 fleet sales were down, resulting in slowed production in their plants. The company lost a shocking $355 million in the first quarter of 2024. This year, the company has also recorded a $31 million loss in the same time period. As a result, the company has been aiming to streamline its manufacturing process and reshape its portfolio to concentrate on core businesses. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg confirmed that in April, the company had 3 airliners ready for delivery in China. But 2 of them were returned to Seattle because the Chinese airlines that had ordered them canceled them as a result of the tariffs. Beijing also imposed a 150% import tax on American goods in retaliation for the 145% tariffs imposed on Chinese goods by President Trump. Ortberg confirms that the company had planned to deliver 50 aircraft to Chinese airliners, but the company is being forced to look for prospective buyers in other regions. But interestingly, this current standoff between Washington and Beijing is not the first one. A decade ago, Boeing got into trouble for exporting about 1/4 of its finished planes to China. The US government had concerns about the export of sensitive technologies, especially those related to military and aerospace, to China because of national security concerns. Fast forward to 2019, and Boeing's business in China plummeted as the country became the first to ground all 737 MAX planes. 3 planes had been associated with fatal crashes that had claimed 346 lives in less than 5 months. China resumed buying MAX flights in early 2023. Currently, China accounts for around 10% of Boeing's order backlog. To illustrate further, 70% of the company's commercial aircraft are destined for international markets this year. So, if other countries decide to retaliate like China and Canada, the company's competitiveness will be limited. The aerospace industry maintains that it should be exempted from these tariffs. And here's why. President Trump said that the tariffs are meant to reduce the US trade deficit by cutting imports and encouraging domestic production. Now, the aerospace sector has historically contributed significantly to reducing this trade surplus. The introduction of these tariffs threatens this status and brings about uncertainty in aircraft delivery. To get a clearer perspective, the aerospace sector is the second largest export category after oil and gas. In 2025 alone, its exports are projected to reach $125 billion. And so, in response to the tariffs, a coalition of 15 aviation organizations sent a letter to the Trump administration urging exemptions from the tariffs, emphasizing that the sector is heavily reliant on a global network. Additionally, they stated that aircraft manufacturing typically operates on long-time horizons, with aircraft taking years to complete. So, it goes without saying that shifting production would seem impossible. And this is the step that these protectionist policies are forcing the company to take. It is clear that Trump's trade policies are bringing about complexities to American manufacturing. So what does this mean for American companies? Can American politics reverse decades-long efforts at globalization? Our coding centers are next to the final assembly lines, so in China, Tianjin, in Alabama, USA, in Hamburg, Germany, and in Toulouse, France. This way, the final assembly line doesn't have to suffer any burden. Airbus relies on as many as 18,000 suppliers worldwide who produce roughly 80% of the aircraft. To manage tariffs, the company has the option of using its U.S. factory in Alabama. American manufacturing is grappling with challenges in this new environment. These are ranging from high labor costs, stricter environmental regulations, and intensifying competition from all over the world. The U.S. still remains the leader in high-tech industries, including aerospace, automotive, and defense, which favor outsourcing and offshoring production. This is the opposite in other parts of the world. The global manufacturing landscape is evolving significantly. Manufacturing giants like India and China are speeding up production with technology and automation, and these countries are becoming dependent on each other like never before. As a result, countries are sourcing raw materials, labor, and components from all over the world in a bid to keep production costs low and streamline the process. So here's when it gets interesting. These tariffs that were supposed to protect American manufacturers are putting them in a vulnerable situation. Countries that are not affected by U.S. tariffs, particularly those in Asia and Europe, are taking advantage of the higher price tags on American goods. Talking of Europe, Airbus has emerged as a fierce competitor for Boeing. Airbus, which is based in France, is taking over Boeing's market share for commercial and military aircraft. This can lead to a shift in market dynamics, and the results are already starting to trickle in. Airbus A320 and NEO, Airbus's airline carrier, is becoming quite popular in Asia and Europe, mainly because these customers are sensitive to price. As Boeing is concentrating its efforts in the US, Airbus is getting access to emerging markets in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia, and it gets worse. Airbus already has a plant in the US, it's in Mobile, Alabama, so that means the company has a way of bypassing Trump's tariffs if Boeing produces its aircraft in the US. That means that Airbus, which is operating with lower production costs and fewer trade barriers, will eventually capture a larger market share than Boeing if this trade war intensifies. Another important fact we cannot forget is the labor cost in Mexico, and the implications of that on American workers. Aerospace companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon have traditionally provided high-paying engineering jobs. With rising costs, these companies are outsourcing these jobs to Mexico, leaving the American worker jobless. As a matter of fact, labor costs in Mexico are around 50% lower than in the US, thanks to less stringent labor laws and a surplus of human labor. While some workers understand that companies have to react wisely in an environment that is introducing economic pressures, some see this as a betrayal. Boeing has employed many Americans for over a century. The tariffs and increased automation and production are leaving the American worker wondering if the jobs Trump promised will ever come back to America. So it's clear that the trade regulation tariffs and global competition are creating a complex environment for Boeing. The company has to deal with higher production costs, disruptions in the supply chain, and increased competition from companies like Airbus. Mexico and Canada are posing as attractive locations for American manufacturing due to the integrated North American supply chain and lower production costs. So whether Boeing will continue to offshore its manufacturing abroad remains unclear, but one thing is clear: if these tariffs persist, many more companies will follow suit. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.